Hey viewers, welcome to another game of Casual Pro Gamer. Today we're doing game number 1 out of a best of 3 between EmpireKas and TSLHyuN. These are the final matches, or this is the final match, I mean, of the Zotac EU number 114, so 114. And as you can see, it is a Terran versus Zerg, or Zerg versus Terran, whatever, depending on who you play against, or who you root for, I mean. Anyway, yeah, we will be seeing a lot of, or 3 interesting matches, I'm sure, because, well, most of the final matches are pretty exciting. And this is Cloud Kingdom, the map that is. The game, of course, is not Cloud Kingdom. I can totally see that as the name of a game. But anyway, we are going off and build barracks over here. The Zerg player is going to go into heavy economy here, I'm pretty sure at least. Because that is the smart thing to do. And yeah, he is just building drones and drones and drones until he has enough for a hatchery, and then yeah, he's going to build a hatchery. And then he's going to build drones and drones and drones until he has enough to actually get a spawning pool and maybe even another hatchery. I don't know. We haven't seen that in quite a while, but you can actually triple expand or something like that against Protoss, so I'm pretty sure you can double expand against Terran then. Unless they have like really early aggression, but so far so good. He doesn't know that, obviously. He is still on his way to scouting this base. And there is yeah, there it is, a command center coming up. So now the Zerg player knows that there's no aggression coming, and he just scouted that. He made sure that there was indeed an expansion coming up, and immediately hides his overlord to not reveal that. And he is going into more and more and more. There goes the spawning pool, and obviously has 300 saved up again, so pretty sure he's going into another hatchery here, because there's no real other way or other reason to go into this much minerals. And no, he's not going for that. He is going for a queen and some more drones. Well, no, 1 drone, 2 Zerglings, and 2 queens. Oh, he was saving up for those queens. The queens are pretty expensive. They are 150 each, and yeah, once the spawning pool pops, so once it, well, becomes available, your queens become available. So that's why he saved up so much minerals. Because, yeah, that's 300 minerals she wants to spend straight away as soon as that finishes. But another 300 saved up, and this time he is going for something. And oh, it is over here. Getting another hatchery out, the orbital command coming up. And the other orbital command already finished, obviously. And training some more SCVs, because, well, it's all about training those SCVs. SCVs are really important to have, and another command center coming up. So both of them going for heavy economy. Finally, there is a factory coming up, and a bunker at the natural. Natural is natural expansion, for those of you who don't know the terminology. I try to explain it as much as possible. If you have questions about anything, then please let me know. And I will, if you have enough questions and I cannot really answer them, or enough people have questions, then I may actually do a tutorial on this game. I am, of course, not a pro at playing this game. I do, however, know a whole lot about the game by just watching it, commenting on it, and things like that. I am, however, a pretty terrible player. But like always, the rule is that you don't have to be good at it to be good at commentating it or even coaching it. I mean, if that were true, we would have very young coaches, because Nobody is good at this game unless they're really young, and most of the coaches are like 50. In Korea, that is. I don't know how the American teams have that. So there's an additional queen over here with the hatchery. Every hatchery needs a queen, but there's an additional one here just to spawn those creep tumors. And as you can see, he has a lot of creep tumors out already. He's going to spam as many of them as he can to spread that creep as quickly as possible, because all of his units get additional movement speed, and that is of course awesome. So there is a Banshee coming up. I don't know if it's just the one or if there are more coming, but no, it's just the one. Then he's going to switch out the add-ons, making sure that he does have the siege upgrade. Pretty sure he's going to start that as soon as he has a tank on the way. Yeah, no reason to have siege stack if you don't have a tank. And there is the Banshee. It's going to die immediately though. Wow, that was such a waste. That was such a waste. He already saw the queens but didn't react in time. That's 150 minerals, 100 gas, gone to waste completely. And the queen's coming up to defend this hatchery. So the queens are going to do very well here, but he will have to spread some more creep to make sure that his queens actually get the movement speed that they need. But he lost quite a bit of health on that hatchery. I don't know how much, but yeah, I think it's about 300 or so. So it's not a whole lot. It's not enough to actually, well, be worried about it. But it is, of course, well, plenty to call it actual harassment. No, actually, it's going to keep building. Wow. That wasn't a lot at all. So it's only like 150 health gone. That is not as much as I expected. Well, I only saw them attack it twice, so I guess, yeah, that kind of doesn't make it a whole lot of damage, but I didn't know that they did so little damage. So just suiciding in 2 of the Zerglings to see the defense, and he sees that there's a bunker out, he sees that there are several of these Hellions out, and he just suicided in another group of Zerglings. Don't know why. And only the melee attacks actually being researched currently. He has 2 of those. Here's the second one. That one is actually researching. Baneling Nest is out, Spire is out, and he currently isn't upgrading the missile attacks, meaning that he's not going for that Roach army, which normally is doing quite well, because Roaches, of course, are very good against tanky units, against armored units, and these guys aren't armored, they're light. And of course he is going for that air build, because with that Spire, yeah, you can build air units, and the Mutalisks are excellent against everything that the enemy has here. And except for the Marines. The Marines are actually good against the air units, but that's why he has these Banelings coming up. So lots of Banelings, and yeah, actually going for that enormous army there. And let's see, he has 24 Banelings and 49 Zerglings and 8 Mutalisks. And yeah, there's a Thor coming up to deal with the Mutalisks, because the Thors are really good against the Mutalisks, but I don't think he's going to be in time. These Banelings picking off everything, and it is just a matter of yeah, cleaning up. But yeah, there are 3 of these Mutalisks still alive, and 4 of the Marines just came out, and they are able to defend that with the help, of course, of these medevacts. And yeah, well, that attack was pretty successful for our Zerg player here. He lost a lot of Banelings and Zerglings, of course, but they are not worth a whole lot. So going to go onto these destructible rocks and going to take care of those to make sure that he can move in with a whole big army at the same time instead of having to stream it through this narrow opening. And this way, yeah, as you can see, the whole army fits instantly, and yeah, that gives him a huge advantage in the fight, because he fights with this whole block of Zerglings instead of just a few very expensive, powerful units. And of course they're going to take out this one as well, and preferably this one as well. So yeah, lots of damage coming out from this group, but not everyone can reach, of course, because there are so many of them. In fact, oh wow, a lot of banelings coming out now. Let's see how many. He has about 100 Zerglings. Wow. Still, only 6 Mutalisks. He doesn't want to overextend on the Mutalisk production. And here comes the Terran army. He can see that because these creep tumors give him vision, and that means that he's going to run in with his entire army. No infestors yet, which means that the Marines can still run around and avoid the banelings, but they're not going to be able to run around all the way, and most of them are getting picked off by the banelings. Wow, so many things going down, but the entire Zerg army melting to the tanks, and the tanks are of course very good against clumped up units such as the Zerglings there and the banelings, and they killed a lot of the banelings before they actually reached their target. But it seems that more and more is being produced by this Zerg player. 15 banelings, 42 Zerglings coming up. And are there any units in these guys? I can't really see. Oh, hang on. That's Alt. Yeah. So there's nobody in there. It's just this very small group, and he scans to get rid of some of the creep tumors. There are still live ones out there, though. The live ones are the ones that actually have this, the spawn creep tumor ability, and they can spread the creep further. And wow, here you can see 6 Zerglings or 7 Zerglings actually dying to one shot of the tanks, and that's why the tanks are so important. So that's also why you want to be as stealthy as possible as the Zerg player, because you don't want to be shot by the tanks, and you want to be sneaky and maybe burrow and sneak in that way. Oh wow, how many did he pick off? Hang on. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have to go back here a little bit. Oh, come on. Really? We're going to have to go this far back just for me to get like 2 seconds of action. Anyway, the banelings coming in here. And they are not going to do a whole lot. No, they're just going to pick up like 1 or 2 of them. This siege tank picking them off, and it's not going to be a big deal. So yeah, the whole army coming in here, and it is going to pick off the orbital command. No, that's not what it's called. Planetary fortress. And the Terran army now moving in, picking off some of the creep tumors. That means that the creep is going to, well, retreat a little, and he's going in for this snipe and then going in to kill the bases. But there are the infestors, and the infestors are going to do a lot of damage to a lot of units at the same time. They are burrowing here, and he just used his last scan, I think. And lots of Terran units pushing in. I don't think he has anything anymore. It seems that, yeah, he still has some Zerglings and some infested Terrans coming out, but it is going to be hard to combat this because these tanks are pretty powerful. And yeah, with this many medevacs, it's even hard to pick off the Marines. And while losing 2 of his high trees there, and he does GG out. So it is the Terran who comes out ahead in the end, even though the Zerg player came in with all the aggression early game. There were too many Zerglings in the composition and they melted to the tanks. So yeah, he couldn't do anything afterwards. This attack would have been really nice, so the banelings that came in, if he didn't have that that excellent reflex of just pulling back his workers. It's about the same as you can see, but way more units died for the Zerg player. Of course, that is the way it always is. It's not about that in particular, it is about how many resources you actually lost. And you can see that is even way more. Units lost 528. Those are, well, the difference between this and this is the amount of banelings he lost or he used, and that's about 60. That's pretty big number. And yeah, he just lost a ton of resources. Well, of course the buildings are in here as well, so this would already be 600, and then he lost one here, so that's already 900 of that. But still, he lost like way more. So even though his farming was better, his income was better for most of the game, it didn't matter. In the end, he did lose. Well, he did lose too much, and well, the Terran player wins. So anyway, hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you for game 2.